Hello everybody, this is toysareruss, and for this third party figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at Dr. Wu Gas Smoke. So in this video, we're going to have a look at him in both of his modes. We're going to have a look at some of the other figures that share the same mold. We'll do some brief comparisons with his box buddy, which is Fireball, who, as I'm sure you've already seen, has got his own video. And unfortunately, I don't have the Generation Selects version of Exhaust, but I've got a Earthrise wheeljack, which of course shares the same mold, just to give you an idea of how small these figures are. So as I start to move all these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please. And also to thank Shozy, because that's where these came from. So here we go. They come packaged as a 2. Gas Smoke is obviously just a clever name for Exhaust. The reason why it's not called Exhaust is because Dr. Wu make transforming figures, and that means they're not licensed by Hasbro or Takara. That's what he's going to look like in robot mode, which you're going to see in a second, and he does come packaged in the alternate mode. So these are basically Micromaster scale figures. Yeah, exactly that, but of some of the main characters, whereas of course when we had the Earthrise figures, they were just the Micromaster characters, which to some people were quite obscure, and I think they were a bit of a niche, to be honest, and I think that's why they didn't do so well. However, what Dr. Wu do is they take all the favorite characters. First and foremost, they give you them, and then they just use the mold, same as every other company, and then they give us all the other variations. I'm still yet to do the video on Slicer as well. That's how they come packaged. That is coming up very soon as well. So let's have a look at the figure itself, and you'll probably see why I love these so much. So the wheels are individually pinned, which is great. The colours on them are fantastic. The paint on it are really good, and these are really quite intricate. I think the transformation process is pretty much exactly the same as this particular figure, which again you'll see some of it in a second, and you'll probably see that I've uploaded wheeljacks separately anyway. So I want to give you an idea, as I say, of scale of this. So that's another third-party company. That's New Age, which of course is tiny. This might surprise you now, even though this is a big deluxe figure, that's drag strip. So you can get the idea that these are quite small. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to get across to people, is just how small they are, and I suppose how clever they are. There is, of course, the industry standard Earthrise Prime. This is my very old battered original G1 Optimus Prime. And then funnily one more quick comparison, that is the Bumblebee Hot Wheels figure. So that much smaller than a Hot Wheels figure. Right, not much more. In fact, very quickly, I've just found that that's an official Takara world's smallest alert. So yeah, Takara started doing these in 2003, then they stopped for however long, and Dr. Wu seemed to have took up the mantle. Right, before we have a quick look at him in his robot mode, he does come with a collector's card, which again is another copy from Takara figures. You can read, or you can pause, and then you can read that at your own leisure if you want. There's his tech specs, and he also comes with some instructions as well, because like I said, 16 steps to transform this little guy. Quite impressive, to be honest. And he also comes with 2 shoulder cannon accessories, which of course we're going to attach pretty much in about 30 seconds. So without further ado, let's get him into robot mode. So as I say, what we're looking to do is, if we take the spoiler back, bring them out, disconnect the back, because this is the arms, so take the sides out, disconnect that there. This is brand new, so it's probably going to be quite stiff. Bring the feet out, slide the leg down, bring this forward, because of course that's his toes. Lift up the front section of the car. In fact, let's spin it around first. I should have remembered that. Rotate it round first, bring that there, pop the head up and out. Now take the front of this, and there we go again. I've just thought I do have the Masterpiece exhaust, but unfortunately that's sealed, so I still can't get him out to show you. Right, let's just turn the orientation of the bicep around. I am going to zoom in for you so you can see him much better in a second, but what I need to do first and foremost, as I say, is give you an idea, now he's in robot mode again, of the size of how small these are. So if we start nice and small first and foremost with standard core class figures, so which you can see again are in fact towering, as you'd expect, way above him. This is a vintage G1 Dino King mold, which of course was very similar to the, what's the word I'm after, Monstructor. That's again another core class. That's a New Age Prime. That's your Hot Wheels Prime. And then I'm going to go quite a bit bigger now before zooming in to do some more comparisons, and indeed some Micromaster ones. So that isn't really, that's a deluxe figure. There you go, there's a deluxe version of that particular mold. And then finally the last 2, we've got Earthrise, and of course we've got G1. Oh, I think that might be the missing link, actually. Looking at that, looks a bit too new to be a brand new, to be an old G1. But there you go. So that gives you an idea, I say, of just how small he is. Right, let's zoom in for you, and I can show you the articulation. So that's 2.1 times zoom if you're wondering. The head sculpt is brilliant. It's amazing. It does, or does it not? Yes, it does. It will spin around. So you've got articulation in the head. It'll go all the way around. The shoulders, as you can see, are on ball and sockets, even though they're tucked in there. But you can come up, go full T at the side. You can bring it down. If you just miss these spoilers, you can go all the way around that way. There's swivel and flexion in the bicep. There's no waist swivel. There was, but you can get it back by just slightly loosening this if you wanted to, but it does take the whole front, so that is hindered. So let's just say there's no waist swivel. The legs, though, will allow you to go all the way up to the front and all the way to the back. So you've got a splits there, but to this side it is hindered. However, the ankles, toe tilt, tap, rock, etc., everything else you've got on this is crazy. I'm going to keep going even though that's popped off, because if it happens to you, you can see how easy it is to relocate. So as you can see, and because it's third party, I love that. Look, it's got Marlboro on his toes, which is great, again, which is a homage to the original Marlboro wheeljack from the Diaclone toy line. Right, here's his over the shoulder cannons. What I like with these is they do things slightly differently. So he's got both cannons, whereas wheeljack only had one. What am I doing here? There we go. Wheeljack only had one, and I can't think what Slice has got, to be fair, because I've not done a video on him just yet, but they do try to keep them slightly different for obvious reasons. Right, that is super snug, but they do still fit over his shoulders, and they do look great. There you go. There's your Earthrise again, back in. There's your official Takara World's Smallest, so you can see they fit in line with them. But the best use for these figures in this day and age is the fact that they go so well with the Titan figures. The Titan figures, the bases, the scale for this, it's just perfect. And as I say, the Doctor Wu figures, which I've really started to really enjoy. I think just the reason why, I think, is, let's be honest, they just take the main figures, main characters, and they just give them versions like this, which, as you can see, is really, really good. And indeed a lot of fun. But to be honest, there isn't really much more to say about him. Again, anybody on this channel knows that I like the Doctor Wu figures, and there's also a full playlist of them if you want to catch any more. In the meantime, guys, let me know what you think of him in the comments, and of course, take care.